So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing Doncaster Rovers versus Bradford City, and then the second part of today's video, I'm going to bring you guys my Game Week 22 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you're trying to 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be as well? Now, obviously, with this game being played on a Friday, the match preview means instead of coming out on a Thursday, it's now coming out on a Wednesday. So hopefully that clears up any confusion, because some games in League 2 have been moved to the Friday, some are still staying on the Saturday. It's really confusing, but unfortunately, one of the better away games of the season has been moved to a Friday night. I think we've still nearly sold 3,000 tickets though, which is an absolutely incredible achievement from the football club. So fair play to everybody who is going to be in attendance for that one. We've also got a special guest coming on the channel for today's match preview. If there's any other League 2 content creators out there who want to come on the channel for any future match previews, then get in touch, let me know down below. But let's waste no further time and get straight into today's episode. Channel memberships are now cheaper than ever, with tier 1 costing just 99p. Tier 2 has been reduced from $3.99 a month down to $1.99 a month, and tier 3 has been reduced from $8.99 a month down to just $4.99 a month. Your support, as always, is massively appreciated, and the more members that we have, the better the content will be. Enjoy the rest of the video. I say episode, does a match preview really count as a series? I'm not really too sure, but in terms of how both teams have got on then so far this season, we currently sit 14th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 21 matches, we've got 8 wins, 5 draws and 8 defeats, scoring 26 goals and conceding at 27. That leaves us on a -1 goal difference and 29 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a win, a win, a loss and a loss. Them last couple of matches then being a 2-0 win away at Gillingham, a 4-0 win at home to Liverpool's under-21s in the Football League Trophy second round, a 3-0 win away at Forest Green Rovers, a 1-0 win at home to Accrington Stanley, a 5-1 win at home to Barnsley in the Football League Trophy, a 4-2 defeat away at Notts County, and a 2-1 defeat at home to Barrow AFC. In terms of Doncaster Rovers then, they currently sit down in 19th in the table. After 21 matches, they've just managed the 7 wins, 3 draws and 11 defeats, scoring 25 goals and conceding 36, which leaves them on a -11 goal difference and 24 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a loss, a draw, a win, a loss and a loss. In terms of them last couple of matches then, they recently had a 5-0 defeat at home to Mottram FC in the league, a really poor result there for Doncaster, before a 0-0 draw away at Accrington Stanley, a 3-0 win at home to Nottingham Forest under-21s in the Football League Trophy second round, a 2-1 defeat away at Peterborough in the FA Cup second round, a 3-1 win at home to Colchester, and a 3-2 defeat away at Crewe Alexandra. Normally this is the part of the video where I get into the team that I would go with if I was Graham Alexander. Before that, we have a message from today's guest.
Hello there, mate. Obviously ahead of Doncaster Rovers v Bradford City. Obviously Doncaster have had a position-wise, it's not been great, but in terms of performance levels compared to the season before, with Grant at the helm, I think it's been an alright season so far. We will finish higher than our position suggests at this point, and I think that, you know, it's been a decent season so far. Yes, the results haven't gone our way sometimes, but with the progress that we've been making, minus the 5-0 on Saturday, since the Forest Green victory earlier on in the season, I think we've been making terrific progress in terms of our performance levels, the way we turn up, and I think there's plenty more to come, especially with January around the corner. With David Blunt now gone as chairman, I think the club's in a much more positive mindset going forward. So three key players to watch. Luke Molyneux in the attack. I think he's direct. I think he's quick. I think he's been a step up from previous years. I'd say Owen Bailey's been our most consistent player and our best signing of the season, in my opinion, in the defence. And I think that, and you know, the fact that he's a defensive midfielder, he's not even a centre back out and out. I think he's done a terrific job as the hybrid player of the team. And I also think Mo Fowl has had a pretty good season so far. Seven goals so far this season. And he's been all right for a 20-year-old who's just come from West Brom, who had a loan spell with National League North champions Fylde last season. I think he's done pretty well to slip into League Two. So he's been good. So those are the kind of 3 players that I would watch out for. In terms of the prediction for the game, I think we need to get a reaction from Saturday, but Bradford are in the form right now. So I'm going to play it safe and go for a 1-1 draw. Finally, where do I think both sides will finish? I think Bradford City will finish in 8th place, and I think Doncaster will finish in 12th place. And I think Doncaster will just finish outside them playoffs. However, I think that deep down, I know that next year or the year after will be our year with the backing that Grant, in my opinion, will get from the new chairman, Terry Bramall, who's been backing him this summer with the funds, and Gavin Baldwin, who's done terrifically well under the Club Doncaster umbrella. Mean that badge to you, you Reds.
So a big thank you to CHALL for coming on the channel. I'm sure a lot of you probably already know who he is. If you don't, make sure to go check his channel out. The link will be down in the description and down below. But in terms of how I would line up then for this match against Doncaster, I would go with the same formation we've been playing over the last couple of weeks since that half-time against Notts County. The 3-1-4-2, I think, is how you would best describe it. In goal, I've gone with Harry Lewis. I think he's kept 4 clean sheets in his last 4 matches, 3 league clean sheets in a row now as well. He's been on some brilliant form recently, and we seem to have got the best out of Harry Lewis once more most recently. Alexander has got the confidence back in Harry Lewis, and it's not just his shot stopping now, because he made a couple of really good saves on Saturday against Gillingham, one particular in that first half from the corner. I don't know how he managed to claw that one out. It was a brilliant save, but in terms of coming for crosses and being confident in catching things, he's been brilliant, especially in that most recent match against Gillingham, who are a big physical side. Harry Lewis dealt with their aerial threats very well, and I was very impressed with our number 1. In terms of the back 3 then, on the right side, I've stuck with Jonathan Tompkinson. This man has to be in the team once more. He was brilliant against Gillingham. I'm pretty sure he got the social media man of the match as well. He was absolutely fantastic. He's got everything. He's got pace, technical ability, strong in the air as well, which I think a couple people maybe had some question marks over, but he dealt with the Gillingham threats very well. And overall for me, a really, really impressive full league debut from Jonathan Tompkinson, and he absolutely has to stay in the side. In the centre, yes, Ash Taylor's come back from suspension, but I would stick with Matty Platt. I thought again against Gillingham, really solid in there. Picked up a booking in that second half when the referee went on a mad period. I think 7 or 8 players got booked in a 10-minute period in that second half. He was one of them who did pick up a booking, but he kept his discipline well, had a really solid performance, and obviously he was part of a defence that kept another clean sheet, so he has to stay in the side for me. On the left side, again, I've stuck with Kieran Kelly. He's been very good over the last couple of matches. I think earlier on in the season, I was very unsure on Kieran Kelly. I didn't really have the confidence in him, but recently I think he's been very solid defensively. He looks good going forward as well, very comfortable on the ball, and obviously we know about his defensive capabilities. Big, physical, strong defender, but he's pretty decent on the ball as well when he gets left in 1v1 situations. Recently, he has certainly been much better as well, so for me personally, I would keep the back 3 completely the same. Into the 2 wing-backs then, on the right side, I've gone with Brad Halliday. He had a massive part to play in our first goal last weekend against Gillingham. He gets the overlap, he sprints from the halfway line to manage to get the overlap. He puts the cross in. I think it takes a slight deflection when the cross comes in, so I'm not too sure if that actually does count as a Brad Halliday assist, but it's a brilliant ball in. It finds Jamie Walker's left boot and he finishes it brilliantly into the bottom corner. Brad Halliday for me has been our player of the season so far. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. He's so consistent, a very, very good defender at this level, and for me personally needs a new contract, so he definitely deserves to stay in this side. And at left wing back then, I have stuck with Lewis Richards. I thought he was very solid again against the Gills, pretty decent going forward and overall quite solid defensively. There are some occasions where in the last 5-10 minutes of games you can see that he's starting to tire and get a little bit leggy, but overall for me he has been better than Liam Rideout since he has come in, who obviously was available for selection against the Gills, didn't end up getting included in the matchday squad, not even the 20-man squad, including the couple of players who do miss out. I think that was it Chapman and Poynton who missed out on the weekend against Gillingham, but Rideout for me, I think it's going to take a really poor performance from Lewis Richards for him to get back in the side. I think Richards has been very good over the last couple of matches. Into my midfield then, as the holding midfielder, it has to be Richie Smallwood. Mr. Consistent, Captain Fantastic, whatever you want to call him. Since Alexander has come in, we have seen a much improved Richie Smallwood. This way that we're playing now, it suits Smallwood so much better than how we were previously playing under Mark Hughes, and Smallwood for me has to stay in the side. Another really good performance from him last week against Gillingham. Into my 2 number 8s then, firstly I've stuck with Alex Gilead. Again, he also has a big part to play in that first goal. He commits to the press to their left back, which forces him to keep the ball on the pitch. He drives forward, then he plays the ball to Halliday, and it's a beautifully weighted pass to Brad Halliday. And I thought overall he was quite unlucky to get a booking in that game against the Gills. I thought it was a dive personally for me, but again, like you say, he kept his discipline very well, and you know, he's a good leader to have on that pitch. And I think Doncaster have got quite a big pitch, so his legs and energy, he's obviously going to be quite important. And as my other number 8 then, I would go with Jamie Walker. 6 goals for him so far this season. I think that puts him as our 3rd top goal scorer in all all competitions. Loves a goal in a big match. He's goal scoring form recently has been brilliant. I think he scored, was it 4 goals in the last 6 weeks? Something like that. He's on a really, really good run of form at this moment in time. So maybe, hopefully, he can come up with another one in this game. Into my 2 strikers then. Firstly, I've obviously gone with Andy Cook. Great to see him get his 10th goal of the season at the weekend. A brilliant free kick. A smart routine, really, from us. We don't really have many free kick specialists. Obviously, last season we had Scott Banks. Richie Small would like to take quite a few. But Andy Cook to have that knowledge to expect the wall to jump. Because if the wall don't jump then, it goes straight into the wall. You think that is a dreadful free kick. What on earth is he doing? But it's a brilliant finish from Andy Cook. He hits it into the ground, but not just low. He hits it right into the corner as well. A really, really good finish from Andy Cook. And there's a lot. He's been getting a lot of criticism so far this season. I think criticism at times has been deserved, but you can clearly see that some of the comments that he has received have clearly affected him, and I do not blame him for that whatsoever, because some of the abuse he's received is completely unjustified. Because if you look at it on a statistical point of view, 10 goals and 3 assists I think it is so far this season, that is still a very, very good return. Yes, it's not as good as what it was last season, but it's still a very good return for this level. And Andy Cook, I would much rather him be on my team than an opposition team, because I think he's a very, very deadly striker at this level. And partnering him, I would go with Tyler Smith. I thought, from what I saw in that game against Gillingham, obviously the first 40 minutes iFollow wasn't working, unfortunately, but Tyler Smith for me, I didn't really think affected the game all too much. You know, obviously he starts the press for our first goal, but apart from that, I didn't really see too much from Tyler Smith. But he has still got, I think, 9 goals in all competitions so far this season, so I like to see him keep his place in the side. On the bench then for me, that'd leave Colin Doyle, Sam Stubbs, Kevin McDonald, Alex Patterson, Bobby Poynton, Harry Chapman and Verdane Oliver. The only player currently unavailable is Daniel Ugoke, so lots of players then who would miss out through selection. I have gone with Heath Richardson, Harvey Rowe, Ash Taylor, Liam Rideout, Emmanuel Sadebe, Clark Adore, Adam Wilson, Rayhan Tulloch, Chisholm Afoka, and also Matt Derbyshire. Now let's get into my Game Week 22 League 2 score predictions. Before I do get into them though, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Starting out then with the Friday 7 o'clock kickoff between Forest Green Rovers and Gillingham FC. I'm going to back the Gills for a 2-0 away win. Into the Friday 7:45 at kickoffs, Colchester United versus Salford City. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Crawley Town versus AFC Wimbledon. I'm going to go with a 3-1 away win for the Dons. Crewe Alexandra versus Barrow AFC. I think it'll be a tight, high-scoring game. I'm going with a 3-2 away win for the Bluebirds. Doncaster Rovers versus Bradford City. I think it'll be a pretty comfortable 2-0 away win for the Bantams. Stockport County versus Notts County. Big game this. I'm going to go with a 3-1 home win though for Stockport. Into the Saturday 3 PM kickoffs then. Accrington Stanley versus Walsall FC. I'm going to back Stanley for a 2-1 home win. Grimsby Town versus Harrogate Town. I'm backing the Mariners for a 2-1 home win. Morecambe FC versus MK Dons. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Sutton United versus Mansfield Town. I think finishes in a comfortable 3-0 away win for the Stags. Obviously Sutton recently parting company with manager Matt Gray. Tranmere Rovers versus Swindon Town. I think he'll finish in a 2-1 away win for the Robins. And finally Wrexham AFC versus Newport County, the Welsh derby. I'm actually going to go with a shock 2-1 away win for the Exiles in that one, but I'm going to leave it there for today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try to 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match, and what would your starting 11 be as well? Would you make any changes from last Saturday's 2-0 away win against Gillingham? Thank you all very much for watching, and thank you once again to CHALL for coming on the channel. Make sure to go check his link out. It is in the description down below. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on Friday for the matchday vlog. Peace.